Hello, today I want to talk to you about how to give a girl or a vulva owner oral sex, how to give it. And so I have this is my vulva puppet. Here is the clitoral hood. This is representative of the clitoris. This is representative of the inner labia. This is representative of the outer labia. Now I don't have one with me, but if you would like a prop to practice with at home, you can take a peach, cut it in half, pull out the pit, and that's a pretty good representation of, a vulva with the outer lips and that hole being in the intersection. So when you are giving oral sex, you need to think of the vulva as like the actual folds, right? So like this is the outer labia. So where pubic hair would be if they are an unshaven person, or if they're not, then it's just the outer labia. It'll be the skin color. This inner side will be the darker area. And when you're giving oral sex, what you want to do is you want to start by giving like a full, like if you think of your tongue, like giving a full attention to it. So you don't even actually have to start right at the clit. So everybody's like, go for the clit. Yes, at some point you do want to go for the clit. But at first, what you want to do is warm up, you want to think out, in, right? So you want to warm up the vulva. So there are ways you can kind of give bigger kisses or like use your lips around this outer spot. So a little, showing some enthusiasm. Something to keep in mind is that what makes sex sexy is enthusiasm. Not just your technique, but it's the fact that you're happy to be there and you're excited to be close to the vulva. So like exploring the vulva, not necessarily to start building pressure, but to just show interest and excitement is one way to start. And so that can happen by just like smelling it and tasting it. And then you can start by doing long strokes. So this is my hand, but I'm trying to, I'm not going to lick my puppet. It's actually very velvety. It'll just taste weird. So like if you think of this like my tongue, you're slowly stroking up. And then, like even with this clitoris. So some women, if you go straight for their clitoris, it's too intense for them. And so you may actually do some circular motions with your tongue like this first. And why I suggested having a peach is that if you don't know what to do and your partner doesn't know what to do, the problem is if you are just down on her vulva and she doesn't know, like she doesn't see what your lips or your tongue are doing, then it's hard for her to say, hey, try this, or can you try this? So what you can do is use a peach and try different licks or strokes and show her like, hey, I've been doing this. What do you think about that? And then like, if she's like, I don't know, try it, then okay, you've done it on the peach. Make sure that you drink some water. You don't want sugar to get in the urethra, but then go down and show her the strokes that you did on the peach. And then that gives her an opportunity to be like, ooh, okay, I like that. You can try this or try this. So this would actually be like a cunnilingus coaching session, so to speak, where she's guiding you in ways to do this or that. Because again, she doesn't know, and it's so far down, it's hard for her to see what it is you're doing. Because your face is here. Another strategy is using the nipple too. If you don't have a peach, is trying different strokes on her nipple and showing her what you're doing. Because again, it's in visual range. She can look and be like, ooh, that feels good. And the reason I'm really encouraging you to talk to your partner is that every woman is very different is what feels good for them. Some women love a lot of real focus pressure on this clitoris. Some women do not like a lot of focus pressure. They like the hood covering it. And so if you have some way to visually practice it in front of her so she can see what your tongue is doing, then she can actually say, ooh, I like what you're doing right there. One thing that you can do, so you're thinking of warming up, so you don't go straight for the clitoris, you start warming up maybe the inner labia. Some people will even stick their tongue inside the vaginal hole and just kind of like, almost like penetrate it like your tongue is a penis. And that's a thing that can be done as well. You want to be very careful to avoid the urethra, which is a hole where people pee out of, right under the clitoris. And like, if you get too much or any attention there, then sometimes you can actually give someone a UTI. Be very thoughtful of avoiding that urethra, that little hole underneath the clitoris. And then again, you can do different strokes. I know there's the ABC technique where you trace the A, B, C, D on the clitoris. There are some people who like a really flat tongue stroke. There are some people who like a more pointed turns stroke. And then one little special technique you may try is pulling this back and sucking the head of this clitoris. This is my clitoris. And if you actually look at this clitoris, this part is right here. That's the clitoral head. And so if you pull back the skin and start to suck this actually becomes erect like a penis. But this is a very, very intense thing to do. There are thousands of nerve endings in this clitoris. So when you do it, you cannot go straight for that or you will like overwhelm her and like desensitize her. So this is after warming up a vulva, you can suck this part. And so what you do, just here, you pull this back and that's that head and you're just sucking it like a straw. And when you suck it like that, it feels amazing when they're warm to it, but only when they're warm to it. So if you go straight for that, you'll just desensitize her. But if you warmed up this vulva, and by the time you suck that, you'll get her right off and it feels great. So this is Angela Skirtu. If you want to learn more techniques, you can absolutely like and subscribe. Please submit your comments below on different things, techniques that you use for oral sex, because we can learn from each other. Let's be a community. And then also, if you would want to see me as a therapist, please submit a contact form at therapistinstlouis.com.